It is Wednesday, June 28, 2017. The market just closed. Account value is 121K and a little something. Today we closed the position in dust. We had 4,070 shares. We bought those yesterday for 30.07. Today we sold it at 29.75 for a loss of 1,300 bucks or so. And then we bought 5,950 shares of Nutanix, NTNX. Okay, what a difference a day can make, because the entire tankage of yesterday was reversed, and from the bottom of the range we tested the top of the range in the S&P, and the picture is pretty much identical when we go over to the Nasdaq. Everything what we lost yesterday, today we got back, and we ended the day just shy of this 5780 level that we've been talking about for days now. And even the SOX recovered. That was the index that concerned me yesterday, the semiconductors, that we broke below this range. Now we made it back to the bottom of the range. We are not quite back in there, but it also reversed. So the question is definitely answered. The market is strong enough. The market doesn't even care about what Draghi said. So it tells me we will be stuck in this range-bound market, and we must buy dips and sell rips, because right now I don't see a catalyst that takes us out of this. So whenever there is a headline that spooks us, we need to be buying stuff, and whenever we get to the top of the range, we need to try to sell into that strength. Let's talk about gold real quick. I have gold futures on the left, GDX on the right. At the beginning of the day, it looked quite promising. GDX tested the 2220 level, but then out of the blue, there was no real action in gold itself. Buyers came in and gold miners rallied a percent. That told me that miners are not ready to sell off yet. So I closed the position in dust and moved on. Let's take a look at Biotech. I have Nasdaq 100 here on the left, and LabVIEW, the leveraged ETF on Biotech. And the same price action here. Yesterday, the tankage. Today, we pretty much made all of it back. Not quite. So I am not inclined to buy Biotech up here on a dip. Yes, and today we had a beautiful opportunity, but it just happened so quick. I was not willing to chase it. Let's take a look at NTNX, Nutanix. This is the 4-hour chart, and I'm liking the bottom formation here. And I believe once we take out 2070-ish, 2080, this level here, there's plenty of real estate to the upside. And since the market rallied all the way to the top of the range, the S&P that is, to 2420, the Nasdaq 100 to 5780 almost, I didn't want to buy anything that needed the market to cooperate to go higher. And that is why I picked something that had a news story, like NTNX, that they are partnering up with Google. I think that is picture perfect news for a stock with a high short interest. There's some 14 million shares short, and once we take this one out, I am pretty sure they are forced to cover, and then we get a couple of upgrades on top of it, and all of a sudden we are 10% higher. Let's take a look at the intraday price action, and it gives us two price levels that we have to watch tomorrow. 1980 on the downside and 2070 on the upside. As long as we stay above 1980, I think everything is fine. Once we break above 2070, I think it is on, and the odds are pretty good that we're going to see that squeeze higher. Before I wrap it up, let's take a look at Tesla. Tesla looks pretty much like the SOX, although it is closer to its highs, but in terms of that it fell out of the range and then closed pretty much at the bottom of the range. So it made its way back in above 370. The question is now, does it establish it back again in that level and go test 385 again, or does it bounce back and go lower? I don't know yet. But that's another name that we need to keep on our radar. There's a couple of other names that do look interesting. This is one of them. This is Applied Optoelectronics, AAOI. I'm liking the price action. I'm liking this reversal pattern, but also this is here the bottom of the range, and we have to see, does it make its way back into it and then want to go higher? Too early to say. Another name that does look interesting is AK Steel, and the entire materials sector looked really strong, and that is also another name that I'm keeping on my radar because it would fit in perfectly into some sector rotation kind of theme, especially for next week. And if we zoom out here, it becomes more evident why I like AK Steel here. Loving that, right? It's almost picture perfect. It looks almost like Nutanix in a sense, but there's also plenty of upside if we break this level. So that's another name that I want to keep on the radar. This is it for today. I will be back tomorrow with another recap.